Hey folks, welcome to Shooting Up North. I'm your host, Lewis Carlin. We're heard right here on the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're watching for the first time, please consider hitting that subscribe button. If you want to follow me on social media, I'm on Twitter at Shooting Up North, Instagram at Alliance PW Network. And feel free to join our Facebook group, the Alliance Pro Wrestling Network. Okay, so let's talk about Impact Wrestling. This is an Impact Wrestling news and notes, Impact Wrestling update. So let's get into it. Impact Wrestling announces November Overdrive special TV taping for the first time since 2019. Impact's Overdrive will return. Impact Wrestling is already setting up its late fall schedule as they announce both a new Impact Plus and Ultimate Insider special and TV taping for November. On Friday, November 18th, the company will bring back Overdrive for the first time since November 2019, as I just mentioned, which was then a Twitch exclusive show. The event will air from Louisville, Kentucky's Paris Town Hall on both Impact Plus and their Ultimate Insiders YouTube channel. It follows the recent direction that Impact has moved in with having their streaming specials on Friday nights. On Saturday, they will hold a TV taping in the same venue called Kentucky Chaos. Tickets go on sale for both shows. Tickets are on sale both shows now. They just wrapped up 2 nights of tapings this past weekend in Kentucky as well. So Kentucky, great spot for TV tapings. The crowd, I heard in the last set of tapings, the crowd was absolutely pumped for the shows. I'm looking forward to seeing that, to seeing how it shows up, how it shows on Impact on AXSTV. That's going to start this week. So it says Impact is off the road for the next month before returning to Chicago in August for Emergence. So here's Impact Wrestling's upcoming schedule. Emergence Impact Plus special Friday, August 12th in Chicago. Second City Slam TV taping Saturday, August 13th. In Chicago. That's my mom's birthday. Maybe I should treat her to an Impact Wrestling TV taping. Nah, she wouldn't like it. So Lone Star Stampede Dallas TV tapings will be Friday, August 26th and Saturday, August 27th. Bound for Glory will be October 8th, Saturday, October 8th in a venue. The venue and the location has not been announced yet. Then Overdrive Impact Plus special Friday, November 18th in Louisville, Kentucky. Then Kentucky Chaos TV taping Saturday, November 19th in Louisville, Kentucky. So Impact Wrestling, they're touring the states. It's good to see them return to Chicago. Then they go to Dallas and they go to Louisville. So they're getting all over the states. They're touring again, which is great. The crowds have been really popular, have been really positive crowds. The crowds are getting very loud, and it's good to see that. It's good to see that. So I'm looking forward to all these specials. The Emergence Impact Plus special, I'm looking forward to, and then the Overdrive Impact Plus special, then Bound for Glory, of course, as well. You know, things are looking good. Things are looking really good right now for Impact Wrestling. I can't wait for these shows. These shows are gonna no matches have been announced. Well, one match has been officially announced for Emergence, as we know. Jordan Grace defending the Knockouts title against BAM. Another match has been made official at the last set tapings, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. So we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, Impact Wrestling, they're touring again, and it's great to see. It's great to see, and I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to these tapings and these Impact Plus YouTube Insider specials. Okay, so speaking of Impact and Access TV, this Thursday, here are some matches that have been announced so far. So we get Alex Shelley versus Chris Sabin. Winner earned an Impact Wrestling Championship bout at Emergence. X Division champion Mike Bailey defends against Diener. Then Knockouts champion Jordan Grace teamed with Mia Yim to take on Deanna Prazo and Chelsea Green. So those 3 matches have been announced so far for Impact on Access TV this week. Sounds like another. I heard Bailey versus Diener was a terrific match. I think we all know who's going to win that one. I know who wins, but I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But I think everybody knows who's going to win that one. But I heard it was a terrific match, and I heard Shelley versus Chris Sabin was a fantastic match as well. Again, not going to spoil the ending for that one. I do know who wins, but I'm not going to spoil the ending on that one. So we're looking at another really good Impact on AXS TV show this Thursday at 8 p.m. Looking forward to that. Okay, so Eric Young. This is from Fightful. Eric Young doesn't feel the Impact and AEW partnership worked out like everyone would have hoped, and I definitely agree. Eric Young was on the Angle podcast. Again, I'm going to plug the Angle podcast. Joey Carney does a fantastic job. Check out the Angle podcast. Again, it's not the Kurt Angle podcast. I know Kurt Angle has a podcast, but this is Joey Carney. He has the Angle podcast. He does a great job with the interviews. He recently interviewed Eric Young. Check it out. He's on YouTube, the Angle podcast. Check it out. But Joey Carney interviewing Eric Young. Here's what Eric Young had to say. When talking about the Forbidden Door. This is a quote from Eric Young on the Angle podcast. It's a really wild time to be a fan where it could happen that Rich Swann was our world champion, wrestled Kenny Omega as their world champion. That's never really happened before. Actually, it has. Bob Backlund, WWF champion, wrestled NWA champion Harley Race. He wrestled NWA champion Ric Flair as well, title versus title. You had Nick Bockwinkel wrestling Bob Backlund on one occasion. So it has happened way. Maybe he meant recently. So two televised wrestling companies, back to what Eric Young has to say, says two televised wrestling companies working together. I don't think it worked out as well as anyone kind of hoped it would have. I agree 100%. I feel like there were a lot of missed opportunities that could have gone back and forth both ways. But I mean, the reality is, as far as a wrestler and definitely as a wrestling fan, there's not as many rules as there used to be, which is super cool. You could think, oh man, what a dream match. This guy versus this guy, or this group versus this group. 10 years ago, that didn't happen. Okay, so maybe he was talking about 10 years ago when he was referring to champion versus champion. But I'm old school, so I remember Backlund against Ric Flair, Backlund against Harley Race. But anyway, back to Eric Young. Back to Eric Young. The companies don't work together legally. They're not allowed to do those things. Now it's happening, and it's happening in real time. I'm getting to see it and experience it. So I don't know if I can name a single name or a single group, but I would be open to it because, like I said, I'm experimental, and I want to experience it. I want to experience it all, good, bad, or indifferent. Experiential, I think is what he said here. I hope I got that quote right there. But anyway, but I agree with Eric Young. I don't think the partnership worked out like everyone would have hoped. I mean, we were hoping to see Deonna Purrazzo head on over to AEW, battle Britt Baker. There were a lot of matches that we were hoping that we would have seen. Impact guys never really showed up on AEW, with the exception of Moose. At Daly's place, he got a shot at Kenny Omega. It wasn't in front of a crowd. That was the COVID, when COVID was in its heyday. But we really didn't see any run-ins. We were hoping to see like a Sami Callihan do a run-in, or Sami Callihan come out and help Jon Moxley on some occasion. So I agree with Eric Young that the partnership didn't work out like everyone would have hoped. And who knows, maybe we've seen Frankie Kazarian in Impact Wrestling recently, so maybe right now AEW is concentrating on its New Japan Pro Wrestling relationship, but who knows, maybe Impact and AEW will try it again in the near future. Again, highly recommended interview done by Joey Carney, the Angle podcast. Definitely check him out. Gonna give him another plug. Does a great job. YouTube, the Angle podcast. Definitely check it out. Okay, and last but not least, the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers are free agents. Now they're no longer under contract with Impact Wrestling. They'll still gonna be making a few more appearances. They still need to drop the titles to another team. But here's my take on the whole thing. I would say let them walk. I would say let the Good Brothers walk. And here's why. Because to re-sign the Good Brothers, it's gonna cost Impact Wrestling a hell of a lot of money. A hell of a lot of money, especially I was reading that there were two other companies that are interested in signing the Good Brothers. And you would guess that AEW is definitely one of them. And without a doubt, New Japan Pro Wrestling would like to sign them to a long-term deal. So there's other companies out there that are looking to sign the Good Brothers or have had some contact with the Good Brothers from what I've read online. Again, I have no definite proof of that, but I'm just going by what I read online, and I wouldn't doubt that other companies have contacted them. So with that said, it's going to cost Impact Wrestling a hell of a lot of money to keep the Good Brothers. And personally, the Good Brothers are a very good tag team, but they really haven't done anything to help elevate Impact Wrestling, in my opinion. I know when they first came on, they said that they're going to do what they can. They're going to bring big names in. They're going to help bring bigger names in. They're going to help elevate Impact Wrestling. I don't think they've done that. And when you have Carl Anderson after winning the Never Openweight title, saying that he could turn it up in front of 6,000 fans, but in front of 300, he's okay, or he won't turn it up in front of 200 or 300. Definitely, that was a reference to Impact Wrestling. Some people say it was a reference to the indie scene. I think it was a reference to Impact Wrestling. So with him saying that, he's not it doesn't seem like his heart was in Impact Wrestling towards the end with him saying that. And I know he's there with New Japan Pro Wrestling, at least through Wrestle Kingdom. And I have no doubt that in my mind, that's the way I feel, and that New Japan Pro Wrestling would like to bring them on a long-term basis to sign them to a long-term contract. So if I was Impact Wrestling, I would let them go. And with the money that they're going to save by not signing the Good Brothers, they could bring in a lot of talent. There's a lot of terrific talent. And let's be realistic here. Most of the big names are going to be going to AEW right now. Most of the big names that are free agents will be going to AEW, and of course WWE, WWE NXT. Let's be realistic, but Impact Wrestling could use the money that they're saving by not signing the Good Brothers by bringing in a lot of top indie talent. Now there is one big name out there, Johnny Gargano, but I don't know how much he would command. I would think he would command about the same. Well, maybe not, because with the Good Brothers, you have to sign two people. Johnny Gargano is one, so you have to pay two people in the Good Brothers. Johnny Gargano is one person, so maybe they could save that money that they're going to spend on the Good Brothers. Maybe they could bring a Johnny Gargano in, and then they can look to the indie scene and bring in an Alec Price. They could bring in a Junior Benito from Canada. He's based out of Ottawa. Fantastic talent. Maybe they could bring in a Titus Alexander. Maybe they could bring in a Marcus Mathers. Maybe they could bring in a Davey Vega or Matt Fitchett. Maybe they could bring some really talented indie wrestlers in with the money that they're saving. And of course, like I said, they go after Johnny Gargano. Maybe they could bring in maybe I don't know when Jacob Fatu's contract is up with MLW, but I know he signed he did sign a long-term deal, but I don't know when it's when he signed it, when it's up. But like Jacob Fatu, if he became a free agent, if he became available, man, he would be terrific in Impact Wrestling. So there's a lot of money. With the money that they're going to save by not signing the Good Brothers, they could bring in a lot of talent and make Impact Wrestling very, very exciting. Like when I mentioned Alec Price, I mentioned Titus Alexander, I mentioned you had Starboy Charlie, sorry, like tongue tied there, who's a great talent on the West Coast as well. You have Kevin Blackwood is out there as well. You have Alexia Nicole, Willow Nightingale. I mean, they could bring in a whole bunch of really talented wrestlers that want to be in Impact Wrestling, that want to be in there and make a name for themselves, that want to be in there and do a great job and entertain the fans, and prove themselves to be terrific wrestlers. And I think that's the route Impact Wrestling should take. I say final word here. Let the Good Brothers walk. Let the Good Brothers walk. Let them sign elsewhere, and use the money that you're saving by not signing the Good Brothers, by bringing in a whole bunch of young, hungry talent that I think would thrive in Impact Wrestling, that would want to thrive in Impact Wrestling, and make a play for Johnny Gargano. You know, Johnny Gargano wants to he wants to spend time with his family. He doesn't want to wrestle on a full-time basis, as he mentioned in past interviews. Impact Wrestling would be perfect. It would be perfect for him. He only has to wrestle like 2 or 3 times a month. For Impact Wrestling, he'll get paid. He'll have time if he wants to do an indie show or two. So Impact Wrestling could be a great destination for Johnny Gargano. And with the money that they're not going to spend on the Good Brothers, they could definitely use that money towards Johnny Gargano. All right, so we'll leave it at that. That is my Impact Wrestling update for today. Gonna leave it at that. Any big news breaks, of course, I'll be back. But until then, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye. Stay safe, everyone. So long. Bye bye.